Hey Brooke, how you doing? Okay, yes, I will definitely take a look at what you have done. I think you had just okay, two. The size and the colors. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the size and the colors. The colors are really interesting so far. My only real concern about the colors is the blue skin here for the dude. I can't figure out why he has blue skin. But then again, he's got purple hair. So I don't know, maybe a little bit more of a something that would be expected for a skin tone as opposed to the blue. But if you have a plan here, by all means, have at it. One thing I do want to see here, I want to jump in here because um, I'm trying to see. It looks like you've got some shading techniques using gradients. Good job, excuse me. That's a good job. Right now, I don't think this looks like it's his stomach grumbling because it's this. These lines are the same hue as the sweater, so it almost looks like it's part of the sweater. I know it sounds weird, but that's what I'm getting. Let's zoom back out a little bit. Maybe while you introduce the character, maybe at this point where his stomach starts grumbling, you can have his eyes looking down, and then change the color of those little strokes right there, and I think that would cover the fact that right now, as we look at this at arm's length, we can't even really see the little lines. We just see him holding a stomach. So think about making a connection between the hunger lines, the grumbling stomach, and his reaction to it. Maybe even looking at his stomach. Okay. Then the size of the, yeah, interesting. I think it's interesting. I think if anything, maybe the shape of the iron could be. This is a little bit short and a little bit fat for an iron, right? That I mean, I think iron maybe would be a little longer and a little less wide from its based on the width relationship to the height. I just think this is a little short, a little fat. So think about that. As far as the cheese, now it fits together perfectly, definitely. Um, I mean, you can definitely follow the. Although right here seems like this would be a point where you would say the propensity would be want to go here because this is closer than this. So maybe we can tuck that up here to eliminate wanting to go from here to here and skipping these two steps. So then we come down here, and then maybe the same thing right here where this dripping down almost makes you want to go this way. And it's only because it's so close to this. So maybe either move this down or make the drip somewhere different. I understand you have to have the cheese dripping and melting, otherwise it doesn't make much sense. But and maybe some of these areas you could even add. I see you've started to work on shadow and highlights in the cheese, but in some of those areas where there's some buildup, maybe even some sort of a little reflection, specular highlight, as it were, reflecting the light or showing that there is a relationship between the melting cheese and the ambient light in this depicted in this scene. One thing I think would add some interest is right now you've got the holes in the iron and you are indicating a shadow area, which is really super interesting. It adds depth and dimension to the holes. But I think it would be a little bit more interesting instead of if they were just at 12 o'clock like this, if this were a clock, maybe take that and tilt it over to the side a little bit so that the light source right now the light source is it's indicated that it's coming from directly above big as we can see by the shadow right here, right? So this would be illuminated area that would depict the depth of the little hole, right? So the shadow being up here, the light source being directly at 12 o'clock in the image, maybe move it over here or over here, casting that shadow in this direction or this direction respectively. That's going to add a little visual interest. Try it. I think you'll like it. As far as the illustrative technique goes, I think it's good. I mean, I think it's good. I think if you can maintain this posture, visual posture, I think we've got some interesting potential here. All right, so I think I answered the questions that you were only interested in, and well, that's all I can really answer is the size and the colors, and then how the story progresses. So we're looking good so far. If you want to run something again between now and Sunday, have at it, and I'll get comments back to you. Good start. Thanks, Brooke.